What's up, everyone? I pray that you all have had a great day so far today. My name is Keisha, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Listen, I often don't say this enough, which I should, but if my videos have blessed you or helped you in any way, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And also feel free to share my video out to anybody else who you feel like may need this video, and like, comment, and share, because that will help my channel grow and help it reach more people. For tonight's video, I just want to simply maybe just speak to somebody's current situation, giving you some type of understanding, or just helping you navigate in a knowing where you are at in your walk with God, because knowing what season that you are in is critical for you to really know what steps to take, or what lessons to learn, or what is required of you. If you do not know what season you are in, then you will end up out of alignment with God, or end up being disobedient, or just receiving things out of season, being disappointment, feeling hopeless, because you're expecting something, that is not according to the season that you are in. And so for this video, I want to speak from the scripture, which is Eclesiastes chapter 2, which tells us that for everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. And Ecclesiastes 2 verse 1 through 10, it speaks to so many different things, that there's a season and a time for, which is speaking about life and death, and a season to speak and a season to be quiet, a time to grieve and a time to laugh, a time to dance and a time to mourn, a time to sow and a time to reap. Like all these different things, it just lets us know that there is a time for each thing and a season for each thing. And you have to know, because there's a purpose. There's a purpose, right, for each thing that you are in. So if you don't understand that, then you will miss the purpose of your seasons, right? So this is like why sometimes people can't escape the seasons that they're in, where you feel like you've been going through the same season way longer than you should have been. It's because you haven't yet discovered the purpose of that season. And if you don't discover the purpose of that season, then it means you're not going to get the lesson to learn the thing that God is trying to teach or show you for that season. You're not going to get or receive what it is that he needs you to get or receive with the season that you are in. Because sometimes we can be looking, ahead and expecting something for a season ahead. That's why you can receive a prophetic message from somebody, right? And then you can grab that message thinking that it's for you today, where you are, and then all this time goes by and you don't see that thing that you received, that thought that was for you, and then you become disappointed or mad at God, when the whole time you just didn't have the clarity or the understanding of the season that you were in. We got to learn to really, really, really ask God, like, what do you want me to get from this season? What is this purpose of the season that I am in? What is this season trying to teach me? Because when you start asking the right questions, right, then God can begin to show you or reveal to you, right, what it is that, the purpose of the season that he has intended for you to get, so that you can move out of that season. And a lot of us stay in seasons, talking to myself, longer than we are supposed to, because we're not getting what it is that God needs us to get with where we are. We are so desperately seeking for the promised land. We are so desperately seeking for the new. We are so desperately seeking to see the things that we know God has shown us. We know things that God has said for us. But again, if you aren't getting where you need with where you are, you cannot get where God is trying to get you to go to after this. It's like in the school passing the test. You can't continue. You cannot, hear me, pass a grade if you aren't passing the test, if you're not learning the lesson that is taught to you with the grade level that you were at. In order to get to the next level, you got to make sure you meet the expectations of their current level so that you can exceed and get to the next level. That's what God is requiring of us. And so this is something that I know God has been dealing with me personally in my own, relationship with him is just really me getting to a place of understanding, okay, God, what is it that you need me to get? What am I supposed to learn? Because I don't know about you, but I'm not here to try to continue to be learning the same lessons or taking the same test over and over and over again, and going through the same cycle over and over and over, repeating my life looking the same year after year after year. No. And so I just wanted to get on here real quick and just tell somebody, if you have been just wandering aimlessly or just out here listening to anybody and what every prophetic word is saying and snatching every word for yourself, thinking that you're about to receive this in this season when you ain't even went to God and asked him what it is that he needs you to get in this season. You haven't even went to God and just really figure out what season am I in. Like, what do you require of me, God? Where am I? What is this season supposed to look like for me? Again, what is your purpose for me in this season? Begin to ask God and seek God so you can get the knowledge and have the awareness of where you are, so that you can do what you need to do with where you are and get to where it is that God needs to get to in your next. Because we can't be where we are now with certain mindsets, certain habits, certain beliefs, thinking we can take that with us to our next. No, God may want to work out of you some things with where you are that can't go with you to your next. So make sure you are aware of these things, and make sure that you are in a position for God to prepare you how he wants to prepare you, to prosper you into your next season, which can be your promised land, which can be the promises that he has promised, right? No more just continuing to go through this life without having the acknowledgement of the season that you are in. Because again, like I say in Ecclesiastes 2, there is a time and there is a season for everything. Make sure you are aware of that.